Hi and welcome to part 2 of the Diresta Inspired Parts Tool Storage build. Right here in the first part of the video, you can see all the cherry edge binding that I did. This was a very long, tedious process. I mean, every piece was cut by hand, fitted and glued and taped down, and it really did take a long time, but boy does it really add a nice pop when I added the rubber wood drawers. So I tried to go back and forth in this video with the fast motion and regular motions. You kind of really appreciate the time involved in this whole process. This has probably been one of the more in-depth projects I've done in a very long time, but well worth it, and I know I'm going to get a lot of use out of this. But and no, that is not 3M tape. Couldn't afford that. Painter's tape. Here I'm just starting to do the sanding. All it is just evening everything up and making it look nice and flat, and really turned out nice, and just kind of evening some of the edges up. I actually went back through with a file later to get it right. This is the start of the prep work for spraying some clear, just on the cherry edge banding just to make that pop a little bit. You can see I did quite a bit of sanding. It's really dusty. There's a little better view of the banding. Now these parts here are factory rejects. They were actually cut wrong, and I was fortunate enough to get my hands on them, and that's what I made all the drawers out of. So it saved me a lot of time in getting the drawers processed. They already had a dado in them. So, and here we are back to fast motion. Again, just to speed up the process, but it ended up being about 360 parts, I believe, altogether that I ended up cutting for all 60 drawers. So mind you, that's 2 front and backs, 2 left and rights, plus a drawer front and the bottom. So 6 pieces per drawer, 60 drawers, 360 pieces. Again, more parts processing. It really did take forever. I know it's well going to be worth it. And you can see as I was putting them in, I batched everything. So I wanted to make sure that I did, when I cut the sides, I was putting matched pairs in each drawer. Same with the front and the backs, the bottoms. That way everything was already put together in a little set. And it really made the processing of building the drawers just that much easier. Again, it was just very long and very tedious, but it will definitely be worth it in the end when I get to fill it up with all kind of goodies and things that I find. Here I'm again putting more of the sides in, and I went through this through the entire process. And there I am putting the fronts and backs in the shorter pieces. And this is cutting the bottoms. And this was also reclaimed material. The entire project was all reclaimed material. The dados that were originally cut in the drawers were meant for skin material that did not have any finish on them. And you'll see here in another clip where I'm taking some of that finish off. But this is again where I was cutting the bottoms, and I was able to stack them. And here I am starting to cut the drawer fronts to the height. I'm cutting them to length at this point. And I used the little stick there. If you notice that's kind of I borrowed that off of Izzy Swan. He has a his own stick. I forget the name of it that he got from FastCap, but that was one of those things that I just can't live without now. Just rounding over the edges on the drawer fronts. There are all the drawer fronts. They were fairly clean as I got through them, but I ended up running the sander and just using my little piece of rubber there to get it cleaned up, and just, you know, touching them up, taking the sanding marks off of them, rounding them over a little bit more and cleaning them up. And I had to do this throughout the process just to keep, you know, if there were any measurements that were a little off in the actual drawer spacing, it kind of helped just to, you know, if you need to take a little bit off, just to thin them down a little bit. Right here is an example of the bottoms I was talking about. You can see there's finish on them, so what I did is I took my little block plane and just kind of shaved the edges down. And some of them I had to sand a little bit, but it was just enough to knock them down so it would fit inside the dado. Now you're getting perspective of exactly how many parts are involved. This is putting some of the drawer fronts in, getting my sets together. There's a better view of the actual sets, like what was involved in each one of them. And then here's the first 20 drawers that I built. I decided to just put the time lapse up because if I would have recorded the whole thing, we would have had a video that would have been 3 days long, and that's all you would have seen because that's all I really felt like I did was build drawers. But they came together fairly nicely, you know. The first 20 drawers, and kind of get an idea of what I'm actually getting there. And right here was, I ran into an issue. My gun had stopped working, and I had to tear it apart and clean it and oil it and put it back together, and it worked. I was very happy and thrilled that I was not making an impromptu trip to the box store to go pick up a brand new gun, but these are just, you know, Bosch Tech guns that came with a, you know, pancake compressor. Here I slowed down back to regular speed so you could actually see, you know, how slow this process is, you know, getting them built and getting them in there. And again, very fulfilling job though. Very, 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 very fulfilling build. All right, so here we are. I have been working on this for a while, the Jimmy Diresta Inspired Parts Storage Cabinet. All the little drawers, and if you can see, I'm down to my very last one. And I thought, since I built 60 of them, that it would be better to show you the entire process of what it took to build each individual drawer. This has been a very long build. So what I did is I cut all the parts, and one by one I come over and I grab the parts specifically for that drawer. I take them out of the, you know, the hole, and then I walk them over here. I put them down on the table, and I'm going to put this down here and see if I can make this work. This way, maybe like this. I think you can see. If not, you'll kind of understand what's going on. But so every one of these, I took the parts and I laid them out, and I took the two end pieces, buzzed the ends off, just clean them off. There's the bottom. There's the two sides, and then we glue. Did I mention that I did this 59 times before? I almost have it figured out, and you notice as I wiped glue, I put it underneath the table like the rest of us, right? That's how you find out what woodworkers pick their nose, because, you know, we've all done that, and then you wipe it under the desk. Then we do this and we line them up, keeping our fingers back. And then I spin it this way. And I line this side up. And I do this, and I take the bottom, slide the bottom in, reclaimed mallet, 50 cents at a yard sale, love it. Then we glue the back on. Again, we pick our nose, we wipe it under the table. Put that on, tap. Make sure that's all good, and we line it up. And we look at the front, make sure that's good, and then we get a little more glue to put the drawer front on. Because glue is good. I'm like you, Mr. Pinsky. I only put it on one side. I don't like to waste glue. I like to use just enough glue, but I don't like to waste it. I don't need all the squeeze out. So we take this now, our completed drawer, and we come over here. And then we feel the inside and see if there's anything it needs. Anything needs cleaned up. And then, because I took the time to do my math, everything should fit right. If it doesn't, we go back and we sand again, but there it is. I brought you with me through the journey of this entire thing. There is 60 drawers, 20, 40, 60. Well, there it is. Jimmy Diresta Inspired Parts Storage Cabinet, 60 drawers. Watching his first video, it really inspired me to get organized. And I do like to be organized. I like to have things, and the more and more I organize, the better and better my shop is, it runs, and the more productive I am because everything has a home. And if you put everything back, it'll always be there. This was a great build as far as skill building. I just did some basic math to get everything down to what I wanted. And I gotta be honest with you, as I started this, I was very hesitant because I've done the plan thing before, and you get one measurement off down here, multiplies significantly to the other end. I really took my time with it. I made sure to square all of my saws, make sure of my depths, make sure of specifically with all the dados I had to do. And to be repetitive with everything, I really wanted to watch being complacent. To be complacent with a job like this, you could really hurt yourself if you don't pay attention to what you're doing because it's the same movement over and over and over again. I'm waiting on drawer pulls, the old brass style drawer pulls from Amazon. Those are coming. They're not here yet, but I'm going to finish the video up, and then I think I'll do an update video after that. Great project. Thanks for coming along with me. Mr. Diresta, thank you. Continue doing what you're doing. I'll put a link in the description below to the build that he did.